You've been watching me since I walked in, like you already decided what I am. Most men just see a contract, a number on a ledger. You see something else. I've spent my life surrounded by killers, but you're not like them. So tell me, what do you see when you look at me, Rorschach? Another criminal, or something worse?
See a man who learned to kill with precision and then convinced himself there was honor in it. Suit, tie, gold coins, all distractions. You remind me of Edward Blake, the comedian. Questions. He laughed at the chaos while pretending it was just a job. Men like that always tell themselves it's about rules. But rules are just excuses.
The rules keep blood from flooding the streets. Without them, there's nothing but chaos. I've seen what happens when killers run unchecked. Whole cities burn. The Continental, the High Table, even their politics. They exist to contain the madness. You think you're above rules, but a man without boundaries is just a weapon swinging blindly. How long before you cut down the wrong target?
Boundaries are how tyrants breathe. Gotham had boundaries too. Politicians lined their pockets, cops looked the other way, and Batman played dress up to keep the illusion alive. The city rotted under that mask. When the rules protect the corrupt, breaking them isn't chaos, it's clarity. I don't swing blindly, Wick. Every strike is aimed. Questions, even if the world calls it madness.
Clarity doesn't matter if the streets are littered with bodies. You break the system without offering anything to replace it. When I take a contract, there's a structure. Names are crossed off, debts are paid, and balance is restored, however fragile it might be. You tear at the rot, but what do you leave behind? Fear alone doesn't build anything lasting.
Questions. Building is a luxury. Sometimes survival is all you get. Men like Ozymandias built plans that promised a better future. His plan ended with 3 million corpses in New York. The world cheered because they believed his lie. I won't lie to anyone. I won't comfort them with illusions of order. I leave behind truth, even if it's jagged and ugly.
Truth doesn't always save lives. Sometimes it destroys them. I've kept secrets because the alternative was more bodies on the floor. When Winston spared me at the Continental, he broke every rule, but it kept the whole city from collapsing into war. If you exposed every shadow, every betrayal, do you really think the people would thank you?
Better they burn it themselves than let tyrants burn it slowly while calling it peace. People deserve the chance to see the world as it is, no matter how much it hurts. Fate thought he saved humanity by fabricating a monster. Batman thought he saved Gotham by lying about Harvey Dent. Both men told themselves the same thing you just said. Questions. Secrets keep the peace. They were wrong.
Secrets are weapons. Used carefully, they keep wars from starting. The High Table isn't noble, but it prevents every thug with a trigger finger from declaring his own kingdom. I've seen what happens when structure breaks. Santino opened a contract on me, and within an hour, half the world came for my head. Imagine that, but with no rules at all. You don't fight chaos, Rorschach. You feed it.
Questions. Chaos is already here. You just dress it up in silk sheets and fancy hotels. The High Table doesn't stop killers, it just taxes them. Your system doesn't protect innocence. It launders blood through etiquette. I saw men like Veidt and Blake play those games with nations, not just cities. You think structure matters because you need to believe your life has meaning. Without the rules, you'd have to face what you are.
I know exactly what I am. I'm a killer who tried to stop killing. I buried my weapons, married a woman who gave me peace, and then watched it all ripped away because some kid wanted to make a statement. After that, I didn't fight for meaning. I fought to survive. If you've ever loved anyone, you'd understand why revenge can be the only language left.
Questions. Loved once. Watched that love get chewed up by the world and spit back in my face. After that, I stopped expecting redemption. Revenge is a leash. Questions. It keeps you moving in circles until you forget why you started running. You killed for a dog and a car, but what about the 1,000 bodies since then?
The first kill was revenge. The rest were survival. When the whole world takes aim at you, every breath becomes a decision: pull the trigger or die. You can talk about moral lines, but in a fight, lines blur fast. You've killed Rorschach. Don't tell me you never crossed one to keep breathing another day.
I crossed lines, yes. Difference is, I admit what it cost. My hands are dirty and I don't pretend otherwise. You wear a suit to hide the mess. You kill under rules so you can tell yourself you're different from the men you hunt. But you're not. Questions. The high table smiles at your precision because you're their perfect product, a myth that keeps their business running.
If I'm their product, I'm also their greatest failure. I broke their rules, shattered their illusions, and left their assassins buried in catacombs. I don't fight for them anymore. Every job I take now is a step toward ending their grip. You think I don't see the corruption? I do. But tearing it down without a plan just hands the throne to someone worse.
That's the argument every tyrant uses to stay in power. If not me, then someone worse. It's a lie that keeps men like Vate and the high table untouchable. Questions. The comedian laughed at the very idea of change because he thought the game was rigged forever. Maybe he was right. But I'd rather tear the board apart than keep playing with loaded dice.
And what happens to everyone caught in the crossfire when you tear the board apart? The waiters, the kids in the street, the people who never chose this life. I've seen war zones where ideology destroyed more lives than bullets. You burn the structure down, and the innocent pay the highest price. Sometimes restraint isn't compromise. It's mercy.
Questions. Mercy for the guilty is cruelty for the innocent. Every time you spare a killer because of some code, you doom another victim you'll never meet. I don't make peace with wolves. Questions. I put them down. Maybe innocents get hurt in the fire, but at least they die free instead of living as sheep. You think mercy saves them. It only prolongs their suffering.
I've been both wolf and sheep, and I know the world isn't that simple. I've killed men who deserved it, men who were just in the wrong place at the wrong time. That's why the rules matter. They don't make me righteous, but they keep me from becoming a hurricane that destroys everything. Without limits, I'd be no different from the people I hunt.
Questions. Limits are cages men build for themselves so they can sleep at night. You call yourself a hurricane if unleashed, but storms don't choose their targets, you do. Every life you take is a decision, Wick. Pretending the rules make it cleaner doesn't change the blood. You think the table contains evil. It doesn't. It just sells it in bulk.
Maybe you're right. Maybe the table is just another marketplace for death. But I've lived long enough to know that even bad systems can prevent worse disasters if I take them down. I have to do it carefully. Otherwise, every city becomes like Gotham on its worst night, clowns and lunatics fighting over scraps. You've seen that chaos. You know how bad it can get.
Gotham was rotten long before the clowns showed up. Chaos didn't create it. Fear did. Fear of change, fear of truth. Batman tried to be a symbol, but symbols are just masks for lies. Questions. I've seen whole worlds kneel to the comfort of those lies. Better a city that tears itself apart honestly than one that smiles while it rots.
You and I both live in shadows, but we cast different ones. You want to pull every curtain down and let the light blind everyone. I want to make sure the light doesn't burn the whole place down. Maybe neither of us wins. Maybe this is just a cycle. But if I can spare one life from that cycle, it's worth the blood on my hands.
Questions. Cycles only break when someone refuses to turn with them. You fight to save a single life while the machine keeps grinding. I fight to jam the gears, even if it crushes me. In the end, one of us will be remembered for what we protected, and the other for what we destroyed. When the final page is written, questions, we'll see which story survives longer, the man who played by rules or the man who burned the book.